Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Daily Red Devil. Hope you're all doing well on this Wednesday morning. Before we get into today's show, please do me a small favour. Make sure to drop a like on this episode and be sure to subscribe to the channel bottom right hand corner. Lots to get into. We're going to be talking about Ahmad. We're going to be talking about Tyler Dibbling. Also talking about Andre Onana. As always, I like to start my shows off with a question. And the question for you today is in relation to Tyler Dibbling. Should Manchester United try and sign Tyler Dibbling this summer? Is he somebody that you think would fit into this Ruben Amorim team? Let me know your thoughts on that in the comment section below. And we will start the show off by talking about that story. So this is coming out from multiple different people this morning, that apparently 14 Premier League clubs are trying to sign Tyler Dibbling. Teams included in this list include Manchester United, Tottenham, Liverpool, and Manchester City. It also says that in recent days, Red Bull Leipzig, Bayern Munich, and Borussia Dortmund have all also inquired. Wow. That's crazy. Now, the one thing I immediately think when I see Tyler Dibbling is obviously Jason Wilcox used to be, was he the head of recruitment at Southampton? Someone will probably remind me. Let me check. I'm pretty sure he was the head of recruitment. Let's have a look. So Jason Wilcox, he was the director of football at Southampton. I mean, arguably he was only there from July 2023 to April 2024, but I don't know. I guess you'd hope that he'd have good relationships with the people at Southampton still. And maybe we use that to our advantage. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking this. Maybe we won't. But yeah, when I saw this story come out, I thought hopefully Jason Wilcox can use his connections to try and get some sort of deal done there for Tyler Dibbling. I like Tyler Dibbling. I think he's definitely talented. Is he going to bridge the gap between where we are now and where we need to be? Probably not. But he's definitely a very talented player who could, emphasize the word could, be, I don't want to say world class, maybe not, but you know, he could be in the England squad. He could be a top level player in a few years' time, I reckon. I think what Manchester United like about him as well is his versatility. Obviously, he can operate as a winger, a striker, or as an attacking midfielder, which kind of ticks all of our boxes. We need a striker, we need more attacking midfielders, and we need someone who can play at right wing back, and he can do any of those three things. Now, defensively, he's not that great at the moment, but the rest of his game is quite good. So far this season, Tyler Dibbling has got 6 goals and assists in 30 games, which is, again, not amazing, is it, in 30 games? It's a goal or an assist every 5 matches. But, you know, in fairness, he is playing for Southampton, who are absolutely awful. He's got the same amount of goals in the Premier League as Højlund does, and he's 4 years younger playing for Southampton. Okay, it's not amazing, but it's decent. It's going to be difficult to get a deal done for Tyler Dibbling, though. You know, when there's 14 teams in the Premier League alone scouting this player, it's going to make it incredibly difficult for Manchester United to be able to secure his talents, I think. As much as I would like to see Tyler Dibbling at Manchester United, I think the likelihood of us doing that is probably quite slim. Unless, as I said, of course, Jason Wilcox still has good contacts, you know. But yeah, I'd be interested to see what you guys think. Do you think Tyler Dibbling would be a good signing? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Sokar says Southampton is just a feeder club for Liverpool. He's obviously going to go there. That's a good point. But then we did sign Luke Shaw from Southampton. We signed, who else did we sign from Southampton? There was other players we've signed from Southampton. Luke Shaw. I'm sure there's some others. My brain's not working 100% yet. United players who were signed from Southampton. Obviously, Luke Shaw. He was kind of at a similar age, wasn't he? Oh, yeah, Schneiderlin as well. Anyone else? I think that's it. Yeah, Luke Shaw and Schneiderlin. There might be a few more, actually. The point being is we have signed players from Southampton before. So maybe they are more of a feeder club to Liverpool, but you know, we have taken some of their better young players in the past, in all fairness. And we did just take their director of football. So, yeah, hopefully they're not still bitter about that. Mark Hughes as well. I mean, Mark Hughes was the other way around there, wasn't it? I think. Mark Hughes played for Southampton later on in his career after Manchester United, didn't he? Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Anyway, let's have a look what we've got in the chat. Another hyped up English player. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, probably. It's just crazy, isn't it, that this story's come out this morning that 14 Premier League clubs have inquired about him. And then also Bayern Munich, Leipzig and Dortmund. He's obviously a good player. But, you know, is he a priority signing for Manchester United? I would probably say no, but I can understand why Ineos are going for him, because he's only 19, he's probably got a resale value, and that's kind of like the deals they're looking at, really, isn't it? Young, hungry players who they hope will come to the club, and then in a few years they'll be worth double the amount of money they are now. That's kind of the model that Ineos have effectively told us they're going down. Instead of signing, you know, ready-made Galacticos like we did in the past, who usually come to Manchester United, demand massive wages and flop, they're going for, you know, younger, more hungry players who can effectively make money off, I think. Whether you think that's right or wrong, that's up for interpretation. I like the idea of signing young players, but I like the idea of signing young players so we can keep those young players, not so we then, you know, are looking to sell them. But I feel like that is what they're doing. Anyway, we'll see how it progresses. Right. Moving on from that, though, let's move on to some positivity and let's talk about Amad Diallo, because there is some positive news this morning. This is coming out from multiple different people this morning in the UK that apparently Manchester United are expecting Amad Diallo to be back on the grass in training within the next month. So, what's that, by the end of April? When is our next Europa League game? I mean, the Premier League is kind of irrelevant now, isn't it? Let's be honest. It doesn't really... I mean, obviously you want to win every game that you play, but in the grand scheme of things, the Premier League doesn't really mean too much. So, the next Europa League game is in like a week and a half. Obviously, he's not going to be available for that. Sorry. And then the next one after that is on the 17th of April. Obviously, he won't be available for that either. If we get to the semi-final, that's on the 1st of May. Will he be available for that, do you think? I mean, if he's only going to be on the grass within the next month, are they going to risk him to play in that match? I would say probably not. But the fact of the matter is, let's steer away from the exact return date and let's focus on the actual positive bit of this story, which is that apparently he's got better, more fit, way more quick than they expected. So that's positive. But, you know, I see some people saying, oh, that means he'll be back for the Europa League. But the Europa League, the next game's in like 2 weeks. It's not going to happen. And I doubt they're going to rush him back. Maybe they do. We'll have to wait and see. I just think at the end of the day, the most important thing here is this player not getting injured again. So hopefully, we just have to hope and pray that Manchester United do the right thing here. That's all we can hope. Because in the past, we have rushed players back. We've rushed players back and we know what's happened. It's backfired. So we'll see how that one progresses. But great to see that Amad Diallo is on the mend and that he's healing faster than people expected. That's the positive bit of this story, isn't it? So really, really happy about that. What else have we got to talk about today? Let's have a little look. Right, where else are we? Okay, let's move on to Onana. So the latest on Andre Onana is that apparently Saudi teams are set to put in a bid for him, which sounds great. And apparently he's open to the move, which also sounds great. That would honestly be absolutely phenomenal if we managed to move Andre Onana on. I just don't think it's going to work for Andre Onana at Manchester United, realistically. Maybe some people disagree. Maybe some people think, that Andre Onana should stay. I think there'll be very few people, to be honest, who think that. I mean, maybe there are some people out there. I just personally, I just don't see it. I think it's time for him to go. He's been here for nearly 2 years. He's not performing, I don't think. He's had a couple of goodish moments here and there, but generally Andre Onana doesn't perform very well in a Manchester United shirt. That's a fact. And I think if we are able to sell him, to cash in, to get money from Saudi, it's something we have to explore, realistically. So yeah, hopefully Manchester United... Oh, I forgot my tea. I always forget my tea. So yeah, hopefully Manchester United can get this sorted. That would then mean that we go and sign a replacement. So in relation to Onana, let me read out the story for you here. This is coming from multiple different people. Is that Manchester United have made signing a new goalkeeper a priority for the summer. Andre Onana leaving is now becoming a strong possibility, and United are looking for a first-choice goalkeeper. That's coming out from multiple different people this morning. And I would agree with that, because for me, the 3 priority positions this summer would be a striker, a central defensive midfielder, and a goalkeeper. Those are the 3 that I would really, really focus on. We also obviously need a centre-back, a right wing-back, another attacking midfielder. We probably need 6 or 7 players, first-team players, not squad players. 6 or 7 first-team players, I would say. First-team goalkeeper, first-team striker, a first-team central attacking midfielder, a first-team central defensive midfielder to partner Manuel Ugarte, probably a first-team centre-back, but we're not going to get 6 or 7 first-team players in one window, I doubt. So I would be going all out for a big goalkeeper, a big striker, a Gyökeres, an Osimhen, and I'd be going all out for a central defensive midfielder, whether that's an Edison from Atalanta, whoever that might be. Those would be my 3 priority positions, maybe £50 million per player. And then the other kind of bits of the puzzle can all kind of fit around that. Will Manchester United end up doing that? I don't know. But at least with this story of Onana going to Saudi, that would help us, because I think we would be able to claw back the money that we spent on him, because the transfer fee for Onana, let me just double check I get this right. It was 50 million euros. As always, amortization is spread across the length of the contract. So by the time it gets to the summer, we'll have 30 million euros left on his deal. I think we can easily get 30 million euros from Saudi for Onana. So we would, on our books, we would not lose money, which is great. And obviously from Onana's perspective, he's never going to lose his place as the Cameroonian first-choice goalkeeper, regardless of where he's playing. And he'll probably double, if not triple, his money. What would you rather do if you're Onana? Play for Manchester United, probably not in any European competition, mid-table, getting slagged off every minute, or go to Saudi and earn probably £500,000 a week tax-free and still keep your place in the national team? I would definitely go to Saudi if I was him, realistically. But we'll see what happens. It does look increasingly likely that Manchester United will try and move him on, though. So that's positive. I think that's good. Let me know what you think about that. And then there's another little bit of a funny twist on the show this morning. So apparently Jadon Sancho has handed in a transfer request. And you're thinking, what? What do you mean by that? So obviously Jadon Sancho is at Chelsea, right? And Chelsea have this obligation to buy for £25 million pounds in the summer. And there's a story coming out this morning from Sport Bild, which is obviously a German newspaper outlet. Relatively reliable. Usually get stuff right around German. I would never listen to them about, I don't know, Manchester United want to sign Gyökeres or something, because it's not their area of speciality. But around Bundesliga transfers, I think they're usually quite reliable. But they're reporting that apparently Jadon Sancho has handed in a transfer request and wants to move to Borussia Dortmund again. It's mad, isn't it? These players effectively can go to a club. In the first instance, he went to Manchester United. He absolutely stunk up the place. I think, what did we pay? £70 million for him? Put him on 250 grand a week. He stunk up the place. Then got 3 months off because we never really found out why. But anyway, he got 3 months off and was not playing football. Comes back, decides he doesn't like it, wants to go back to Dortmund. Fine, he goes back to Dortmund. Comes back in the summer, gets a move to Chelsea, has been absolutely stinking the place up at Chelsea, and now he's saying that he wants to leave and go to Dortmund. So I actually think there could be a bit of a funny twist in this tale where, from what I'm hearing and from what I've read, Chelsea will end up buying Sancho for 25 million, but they might try and then sell him, which is quite crazy, isn't it? So effectively Chelsea will buy him, but only with the intention of then selling him again. So they buy him from Manchester United for £25 million, and then they go to Borussia Dortmund and say, you can buy him off us for 30, or, so they make a bit of a profit. As long as Jadon Sancho isn't our problem anymore, I don't really care where he ends up. As long as we get our 25 million and we never have to talk about him again, I'm happy. But it's just a funny old story, isn't it? I just can't see. Dortmund paying his money. Al says, do you think that means Chelsea won't trigger the clause? No, Al, I think from what the story's saying is that apparently Chelsea will buy him for 25 million, trigger the clause, and then try and sell him in the same window. So they'll buy him in the summer and then put him up for sale immediately and try and make more than 25 million. That's effectively what the story's saying. It sounds like a proper Chelsea thing to do, doesn't it? Buy a player they don't want and then sell him in the same window. Kind of similar-ish. Well, not really, but kind of like what Red Bull Leipzig did with Benjamin Sesko. They bought him from Red Bull Salzburg with the intention of in a year or two selling him for double the amount of money. Or kind of like what Xavi Simons and Red Bull Leipzig. Xavi Simons signed a 2-year contract for Red Bull Leipzig. They bought him for 50 million euros, but their intention is just to sell him. So it's kind of like they're not buying him to actually because they want him. They're buying him because they think they can sell him for more money. That's effectively what this story's saying, which does kind of make sense, really. But we'll see what happens. As I said, as long as Jadon Sancho leaves and as long as we get 25 million in the bank, I don't really care where he goes. Fair play, go to Dortmund, whatever. Stay at Chelsea. Makes no difference to me. Jadon Sancho at Manchester United is never going to work now. It's too broken. And so that's that. Let me just see if there's anything else quickly before we wrap up this morning's show. Another little bit of positivity. The international break is now over, and apparently every single first-team player has come back without an injury, so that's positive. So no injuries. Everybody's back, which is great. 12 players went off an international, and not one of them got injured. So that's really positive. Right, what else have we got? Yeah, just people saying that apparently Ahmad will be back in late April, early May. I don't think he's going to be available for any of the Europa League, to be honest. I can't see it. The semi-final's on the 1st of May. Maybe he's back in time for the final if we get there, but that's a maybe. We've got to get past Lyon first. These are all hypotheticals. We've got to get past Lyon. We've got to then get past, whoever it is we're playing next. It's not going to be easy. But I'm going to wrap the video up here, guys. Got a very busy day today. Thank you so much for watching the show this morning. Please do make sure to drop a like before you leave. It's completely free to do so, and it does help the channel to grow. Be sure to subscribe as well. I'll be back at the same time tomorrow morning, as always. Have a great day, and I'll speak to you all later.